This video will show you how to complete Quadrant 2 with Transcript Entry and General Education. This video will show you how to enter in courses from only Citrus College. We do have another video for Quadrant 2 that will show you how to enter in your transcripts from other colleges, including Citrus, but this video will only show you how to enter in transcripts for Citrus College. To begin, click on Academic History, and from here, we're going to select College Coursework. To begin, we are going to click on the Start button underneath Citrus College. We'll know that this section is completed once this bar is green all the way across. So let's go ahead and click on Start. It's already prompting us to start by adding a semester, so let's go ahead and click on Add a Semester. What we're seeing here is drop-down menus for term, year, academic status, and completion status. So what we need to do is side by side, we need to have two tabs open or two windows open showing you your Citrus College transcripts as well as the application. So let's go ahead and pull up a Citrus College unofficial transcript from Wingspan. Please keep in mind, we also have a video on how to access your unofficial transcripts from Wingspan. What I have pulled up on the left is an unofficial transcript from Citrus College. What we want to do is enter in each semester as they're listed on the transcript. Let's go ahead and start with the transcript that's showing spring 2013. Let's assume that this is the first semester. So what we're going to do in the application is under term, we're going to select spring. For year, we're going to select 2013. Please keep in mind that the years that you see are aligned with the information that you listed in colleges attended when they asked for dates attended. The years that you're seeing here are going to align with the dates attended in colleges attended in that section. So if you don't see a year, then something needs to be edited in colleges attended. So let's go ahead and select 2013. And now it's asking us to select the academic status. Keep in mind, as a transfer student, you don't want to enter in anything other than freshman or sophomore underneath academic status. So we're going to plug in freshman under academic status for each semester up to the first 30 units completed. After 30 units, we're going to select sophomore under academic status for those semesters. So let's go ahead and select freshman. Now for completion status, it's asking whether or not these classes are in progress or if they're planned for future terms or if they're already completed with grades posted. So we're going to select completed. Now we're ready to save. And now it's prompting us to add a course. So we have 4 courses listed under spring 2013. So we're going to add in, as an example, let's go ahead and start with English 103. So we're going to click on Add a Course. Under course code, what you're going to do is type in the abbreviated subject. So here we're going to type in ENGL. And watch what happens when I type ENGL. I'm seeing a list of all of our transferable Citrus College courses, and I just found English 103. When I select English 103, it's going to populate the title, the credits, and it's going to check mark the transferable box to indicate that this is a transferable class. We know that it's transferable because it auto-populated when we selected ENGL. It automatically showed us a list of all English transferable courses, and from there we saw English 103. So we know that it is transferable. It automatically checkmarked that course. So now all we need to do is enter in the subject and the grade. So under subject, let's go ahead and click on the down menu. What it's asking you to do here is to assign a subject to this course. And there's lots of different subjects. Really what you want to do here is select a subject that closely resembles the course. So I'm going to select English. And for grade, we can see that this was a B. I'm sorry, this was a B. So we're going to plug in B. After plugging in the grade, you can go ahead and add a course if there's more courses to add. If this is the only course that I took in spring 2013, I can click on save, but there are more courses. So let's go ahead and add a course. The next one I'm going to show you is the Math 150 course, Intermediate Algebra, because I want to show you what happens when we enter in this course. So I'm going to click on Math, or I'm going to type in Math, and I don't see Math 150. It's not in here. That is telling me that the course is not transferable. So I need to manually type in this course. To do so, I'm going to just type in 150, and I'm going to type in the title straight from my transcript. I'm going to type it in exactly as I see it on my transcript. And I'm going to assign it a subject. And when it's asking for credits, what it's asking for is how many units is this course. We can see that it's 5 units. If you notice, there's a 0.000. So that's pretty important, as some of our courses may be worth 3.5 units, or some university courses may be 3.25 units. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to enter in 5 under this box, and here let's pretend there's an imaginary decimal. So what we're doing here is keeping it at 0, 0. If this class was 5.5 units, then I would click on the down menu and I would select 5, 0. But because it's only 5 units, I'm going to keep it at 0, 0. And it shows an example here. Now I'm going to plug in the grade, and there was an F. So let's go ahead and plug in F. Now, what I want you to look at as I plugged in the F is this transcript. I'm going to maximize the screen. Now, from your Citrus College transcript, the unofficial transcript, we can see under the R column, which means repeat or repeated, we can see an E. So what that means is excluded. So that means that this grade is excluded from the GPA. And we know that that happened because this class was repeated. And if we go further, we can see that it was repeated in fall 2013, and there was a C grade. Now there's an I, and it says for I under the R column, that means included. So that's included in the GPA. So going back to spring 2013, I don't want this F to count against my GPA because it's being disregarded in the transcript from the GPA. So I need to enter in that it was a repeat instead of the F. So instead of the F, I'm going to type in RP. That is letting the universities know that this course was repeated. Now, Remember, we had to manually enter this in. It did not auto-populate. Therefore, I am not going to click on the transferable box. So I'm going to leave that blank. It's also asking for a CAS grade. That's once I clicked on the screen, it automatically said none. So you can click on the box, you can click on the screen, and it'll populate that box. Really what that means when you see none is that that grade or that course is not being calculated in your GPA. So, so that's a good thing. So we're not looking at Math 150 affecting the GPA in any way. So now I'm going to plug in the other two classes from the transcript. So now I've entered in the other two courses from spring 2013, and I have a complete semester listed. So I'm finished. I want to make sure that this matches up with my transcript. I want to make sure that the grades are correct, the units are correct, and now I'm ready to save. So I'm going to save this semester. And there's my spring 2013. Now it's prompting me to add in another semester. So I'm going to go ahead and do that by clicking on Add a Semester. So I just plugged in my courses from fall 2013. I entered in the information above, and I entered in my courses exactly as they're listed on my transcript. Remember, Math 150 was a repeat, and because I saw the I know that I need to include this class in the GPA. So what I'm doing here is when I enter in Math 150, I'm entering in the C. So because the class is not transferable, I did not check mark the transferable box. And that's also telling me that this course, even though I received a C in it, it's not going to be included in my transferable CSU GPA. So now I'm going to save the fall 2013 semester, and I can already see my progress through the application. So there's spring 2013 with Math 150 not listing the F. I have an RP instead. And here is the repeated class for Math 150 where I received a C. I'm going to go ahead and add in another semester with a W. So I'm going to click on Add a Semester, and I'm going to add Winter 2014. Under academic status, I'm going to go ahead and select sophomore because I added up my units from above and I've already reached 30. So I finished populating the drop menus and I'm going to add a course. Let's go ahead and take a look at the course that I'm going to add. So this is going to be Child 164. And we can see that the grade is a W and the units are 3. So you do need to report W's even if the course was repeated. So let's go ahead and enter in that course. And I just want to show you again what it looks like when I enter in the course. Now we can see that there's a lot of child courses. And it's only going up to 123. So what I want to do here is not put a space between the letter and the number. I'm going to type in, without a space, 164. And there's the course. It just came up. So I'm going to highlight it, and there it is. So now I just need to enter in the subject. This is an example of a subject that we don't have listed in the drop-down menu. There is no child development courses. So again, you want to go with the closest subject. I'm going to select child psychology. And for the grade, because it's a W, we're going to enter in W. Again, there's this extra box here. We're just going to click on it and it says none. Again, that means that the grade is not being calculated in the GPA. as it did not take the grade. If it takes the grade, then that grade is being calculated in the GPA. And this is transferable. So let's go ahead and save it. Now I'm done with winter 2014 and I'm going to add another semester. So I'm going to click on add semester and I'm going to skip over spring 2014 and add in fall 2014 to show you an example of how to enter in academic renewal. So I've already completed the information from the drop-down menu and now I'm going to take a look at my transcript. So here above, I have my transcript. I can see that in fall 2014, I took Music 114 and I received an F. And again, it's showing an E, so I know that it's excluded from the GPA. Underneath, it's showing me a very important piece of information. It says academic renewal. So if you have academic renewal and you've met with a counselor and they've completed academic renewal paperwork for you and the academic renewal paperwork has been approved and now it is posted on your transcript, you can report AR instead of the F because the F no longer is going to be calculated in the GPA. So let's go ahead and enter in AR when we're typing in the Music 114 course. So I just entered in the course information and it is transferable because it was able to auto-populate Music 114. So the check mark for transferable was automatically checkmarked. So I know that this is transferable. So again, I'm going to enter in AR instead of the F because I received academic renewal for this course. So under grade, I'm going to type in AR and I'm going to click on the second box and now I'm going to save this course. Let's go ahead and maximize the screen and let's save it. Okay, so this is how my transcript entry is looking so far. Now I'm going to go over how to enter in AP credit as a course in the transcript entry section. If you have AP credit, you will need to have that information with you when you're entering in your AP credit as a course because it will be important for you to list the correct exam as well as the information regarding the score, if it was a passing score. So if you don't have your AP exam information, but maybe you sent it to Citrus College officially and we have it on file, you can attend one of our CSU application open forums listed under our workshops and events, and you can speak with a counselor during an open forum. You can also request your AP scores to be sent to you from collegeboard.org. You will need an account in order to get into your scores and see the information, so please be aware of that. But when you're entering in your AP exam as a course, you can enter it in the first term, and I'm going to use the example of AP English Language. So let's go ahead and click on Add a Course. And I'm going to scroll back up, and here it's waiting for me to enter in the information. The way that I'm going to enter in the course code, the course title, the subject, the credits, the grade, and the transferable box is all going to be based on this information here. So this is showing me an example of AP English Language and how to enter it in as a course in the transcript entry. So as an example, under course code, it says enter in AP ENGL Lang. For course title, we're going to put AP English Language. For subject, we're going to select an option from the drop-down menu that says Test Credit no subject. For credits, we want to make sure that we're entering in the appropriate amount of units that we're getting from the AP exam, and I'll show you how to find that. For grade, you're going to put in CR for credit. It's not going to take the grade because it's credit and it's not actually a grade. And you want to make sure that you check mark transferable box. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in this information on my application. So I've already entered in the course code and the course title, but I want to show you how to find the subject. So I'm going to go to test credit, no subject, and select that as my subject. When I'm entering in the amount of credits or the amount of units that I'm earning that are going towards this AP exam, it's very important that I am listing the correct amount of credits. Again, you're only earning these credits if you received a passing score, which would be a 3, a 4, or a 5. So if you received a score below a 3, then you did not earn any credit. So let's assume that I did earn AP credit, but now I want to make sure that I'm plugging in the correct amount of units. So here, in order to put in the correct amount of units, I want to refer to the AP chart, which we can find on the Citrus College website. So if we go to citruscollege.edu and click on the search engine, from here we can browse our A to Z site index and click on T. From there, we're going to click on Transfer Services, go all the way to the bottom, and we're going to go to Counselor Resources. From there, we're going to click on Advanced Placement, AP Chart. And here we're going to follow the column that says Exam. And we're also going to follow the column that says CSU Units Earned Towards Transfer. So we're going to, in the exam column, look up English language, and we're going to find out how many units we're earning towards the Cal State. So let's go ahead and find English language. And there it is. And it's showing me that I'm actually earning 6 semester units. So what I need to do here in my application is type in 6, because these units are going towards the 60 units required for transfer. Again, I'm going to leave credits as 00, and under grade, I'm going to type in CR for credit. I'm going to click on the second box. I'm going to make sure that I'm selecting transferable, because without selecting the transferable box, these units are not going to be applied towards the 60. So it's very important that I check mark the transferable box so that they're calculating those units. And now I'm going to save it. Some students may have received an EW, which is an excused withdrawal, as a grade in one or more of their courses, especially during spring 2020. You can enter in EW as a grade when you're entering in your course. Let's go ahead and take a look at how to do that. Let's click on Add a Course, and let's use History of Rock and Roll as an example. And once we've entered in the subject, now we're going to enter in the grade. So we're just going to type in EW, and let's click on the second box, and it says none, so we know that it's not going to affect the GPA. And now we're going to click on Save. Now I want to show you how to enter in courses that are in progress and also courses that are planned for future semesters. Let's go ahead and start by clicking on Add a Semester, and we're going to go with Summer. Now with Summer, there's Summer 1 and Summer 2. It doesn't matter which one you select. So for Citrus College, So we only have one summer session. So go ahead and select Summer 1. And we're going to select 2020. And academic status, we're going to select sophomore. For completion status, let's assume that I'm in this course right now in the summer. So I'm going to select in progress, planned. And now I'm going to add a course. And it auto-populated SOC 201 because it is a transferable course. And once I selected SOC 201, it didn't prompt me to add a grade. It automatically allowed me to save the course. So I don't need to enter in a grade. In fact, if I click on the grade box, I'm not going to be able to enter in a grade. So I'm going to select Save because this course is in progress. And let's go ahead and scroll down and take a look at it. It is going to look different from the courses above because it is in progress. Now I'm going to select courses that I'm planning to take in the fall. So I'm going to select Add a Semester, and I'm going to select Fall 2020. And academic status, I'm still going to select Sophomore, and I'm going to select the same option, In Progress, Planned, because these are planned courses. So I'm going to add the course, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So after I select the subject, see how the Save button comes up? So I don't have to enter in a grade, and I can just click on Save. And once I do that, I can see that these are my planned courses. So these have been added to my transcript entry. I'm ready to finalize my transcript entry. But before I do that, I just want to remind you to check your courses and make sure that they're accurately checkmarked under the transferable box in this column. The reason you want to do that is because you want to make sure that you're going to have an accurate reflection of transferable units in your application. So if you are entering in coursework from Citrus College or any California community college, then those courses will auto-populate as long as they are transferable. However, if you're unsure about whether or not any of your courses are transferable, then you can always go to our website, citruscollege.edu, and you can click on our college catalog. And from there, click on the most recent catalog and scroll down to the left-hand menu and click on course descriptions. From here, you can select any course. They're all listed alphabetically. And let's start with, as an example, accounting. And I'm going to show you accounting 100 and 101. What you want to look for next to the units are what we call course attributes. These are the attributes in parentheses, and we can see under Accounting 101 CSU, that's telling me that these 4 units will transfer to a Cal State. So Accounting 101 is transferable. And if I'm entering in this course on my transcript entry, I want to make sure this is checkmarked. However, if we're looking at Accounting 100, we don't see a CSU course attribute, so we know that these 4 units or this course is not transferable. So that's one way to check whether or not your course is transferable, but you can also check with a counselor. So we're going to go ahead and begin finalizing our transcript entry. So when we click on transcript entry, if you want to check your transfer GPA, in the right-hand corner, there'll be an option to calculate your GPA. So I already clicked on the button. It looks like you can only click on it one time, but you can always recalculate it as you edit your courses. But if I click here, it will calculate my GPA. And this is the GPA that is currently reflected, my transfer GPA. So that's worth looking at. If you have any questions about your GPA, this is a good place to go, especially if you have multiple transcripts. Um, if you scroll down to Citrus College and click on Edit, you can always go back and make any changes to your transcript entry. And if you want to preview your transcript, you can click on this link to preview your transcript unedited. And when you're finished, you can click on Yes under Have you completed entering your transcripts? Now we're going to go into the general education section. In the general education section, we are going to see the golden four areas. The golden four areas are area A1, oral communication, A2, written communication, A3, critical thinking, and B4, the math. So basically what's happening here is the application is pulling courses from your college coursework section and assigning them to areas A1, A2, A3, and B4. As long as you entered in California Community College courses that match these golden four areas, the application will pre-populate these sections for you in the designated areas. But if you have external transcripts that are not from a California community college, which were approved through a transcript evaluation process to cover the golden four areas, then you may assign those courses or that specific course into the designated golden four area. We can see that A1 has already been pre-populated with Speech 101. With A2, as an example, I used AP English, so I'm going to show you how to find that in the drop menu. A3 has been pre-populated with English 103, and B4 has been pre-populated with Math 165. If you need to assign a course, and just to go back on the pre-populated courses, please double check them. Make sure that they are in fact in the right areas, even if they're pre-populated. But let's go back to area A2, written communication, and let's say I need to assign a course. And this goes for any of these drop-down menus. Basically what you're doing is you're clicking on the drop-down menu, and it's going to show you all of the courses that you entered in your college coursework. So as an example, I entered in AP English, so I'm going to select AP English to cover area A2, written communication. So I'm going to highlight it, and now it's just been assigned to area A2. So now I'm actually finished with this section, and I can select Save and Continue. But one thing I do want to mention here is there are some boxes next to each Golden 4 area that say Opt Out. We do not encourage you to select these boxes because as a transfer applicant, you are required to have the Golden 4 courses completed. If you have any questions about this, please make an appointment with a counselor. Now we're finished here and we're going to click on Save and Continue.